Are you in Toronto at the airport right now?
Yes.
So
I'm
what are
coming
you
to
doing?
you live from the beautiful Toronto Airport Hilton.
How's it going? Are you picking up your kids or
I'm
delivering them?
picking them up. So that is part of the whole, you know, journey.
Divorce.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm picking them up for the summer now. So
Oh
yeah,
wow. That's so
it,
great.
it's the best. So I don't mind being here. I got in really late last night, like midnight, and I'm meeting my ex, my ex and my husband's ex. We all meet.
My husband's ex. Yes.
So he brings my three, my ex brings my three, and then my husband's ex-wife brings my stepdaughter. And we all meet, and then I take them on the plane, and then we go to Texas for the summer. So it's a
That's
good
so
day. It's a
fun.
good day. Yeah, I mean, it's a ton of moving parts and logistics and all that stuff. And that's, you know, the shitty part about having to share kids. You have kids, right? Yeah.
I have one, and we share 50-50.
Yeah.
But it's still just, it's just a hard thing. What about you? So how do you guys do it?
Well, it's not what I want, obviously. I would love them
Yeah.
to be with me all the time, but they have to travel because I live in Texas
Yes.
and their dad lives here in Toronto. So they go to school in
In
Toronto
Toronto. Yep.
and then they're with me for all holidays, pretty much the summer
That's
and then
nice.
all holidays. You know, we still split Christmas, but they come like big chunks. And then my husband and I fly up a lot. Like we never usually go more than about 3 weeks without seeing them. So
That's so good. So, but still so hard. I mean,
yeah,
um,
it's really
so, oh, so I hear that you have quite a story about what happened to you, you poor thing.
yeah. I mean, it's been a long time now. So
Yeah.
it's been almost 6 years and I've grown so much and changed so much, you know. Yeah, we got divorced in 2018 and then I also got remarried in 2018. But
That's amazing.
yeah, I mean that was the point. That was the point.
Right.
Yeah. So, yes. Met the love of my life. We wanted to be together, so we decided we were going to do that. And there were a lot of people that did not want us to do that, and namely people in our faith community, our church, my parents, and even my ex. So they tried to stop it from happening in all kinds of different ways through registered mail, through surprise meetings, all kinds of um, mandatory counseling sessions, all kinds of stuff.
What? This is
Yeah.
so okay. So wait. So you poor thing.
I
Um,
mean, no, it was
were you?
it was my decision, and I should have maybe anticipated that there would be such a blowback, but I didn't realize how bad it would actually get. So, yeah.
So were you part of like a? Did you grow up in the church and were your
Yeah.
parents very religious?
Yes. Yes. So I grew up.
And your husband? Your first husband?
Yes, he still is, as far as I know, and that's where we met. We met when we were kids. Same time I met Brooke, our mutual bestie.
Yay.
Um, yeah, we all met in high school, and my ex and I attended the same church, and that's when we started dating. And there isn't a lot of room for dating in the Baptist tradition. It's like you court, you know, and then you get married. So I got married really young. We got married really young, right out of university, and we were kids.
Yeah.
It wasn't the right relationship for us
Yes.
for long term. But there was a lot of pressure, specifically from I'd say my family to get married. So you know, that's what happened. So we got
And
married
you did.
really young. That's what we did. And then we didn't have kids for a while. We waited till I had my sons when I was 29.
Mm.
And I was an opera singer, so I was doing a lot of
Yes.
stuff with that. And then my husband and I we met actually at a different church that we were all a part of together, which still exists. But it was a little bit more extreme than the church that I was raised in. But everyone attended the church. My parents and my whole family, and we were there for a long time. We were really integrated. We were a really big part of it. And we fell in love with, making music. And, but we were, we were still young. We were like 30. And
Yeah.
my husband
Babies.
my husband had also been married at like 20 to his ex-wife. So it's just, we had really similar stories. And then we decided, we want to be together, and we started putting those things in motion and trying to do the right thing. And, everybody just said, no, you can't. Divorce is wrong. And then luckily for us, we were like, well, the government of Canada says we can. So we did. That's what happened.
Okay. So you are like, okay, you find the love of your life and you're making music together, and you're basically like, okay, we want to do this.
Yeah.
We have to now tell everyone.
Right.
But did you know, did you have any idea it would be as horrible as it was when you did tell everybody?
I really thought that we would have more support than we did. And we do have really good support from his family. So that's been good. But no, it was like full on war. So, my family doesn't have any relation. They don't want anything to do with me or him or our new baby. They have completely cut us out of their lives, and they
completely.
and support, and
like your parents.
Yeah,
don't
my
talk
parents.
To you.
No, my parents, my sisters, my cousins, aunts, uncles. Yeah, nobody. So, yeah, I know. Well, it's crazy, but people
That's so hard.
they have ideologies and they have worldviews that they're not going to change. So, and they were very clear with me about that. Like, we will not support this decision. You can go ahead with it. So I kind of knew what I was getting into, but I didn't realize it was going to be this extreme. But that's the advice they're getting from their faith leaders, their church, the Bible. The Bible is pretty clear about this. And so I left. Not only did I leave that whole faith community, I left the religion entirely. So we're not a part of anything like that anymore. And I had to do a lot of work to sort of like untangle those ideas that I was raised with. And, and then we started a new life in Texas. So, yeah.
Yes. So
yeah,
I can't. So, did it take you a long time to, obviously it probably still does, to get over the fact that they just sort of, cut themselves off completely?
Well, I mean, therapy is amazing. And
yeah,
it's the one thing I would say to women that are starting, this process of leaving their husbands, or just, getting a divorce at all, or if they've been left, find somebody that you can trust, that's professional, that can help, walk you through these feelings and these emotions. And so, yeah, I've done a lot of work with different people, and I'm obviously so happily married, and that's been great because we have that support. And, speaking of our mutual friend, my girlfriends that I grew up with, they're my family now. And
yes,
that's
I
who has loved me and supported me and been there for my children. And those are all their aunties. And that's who I can rely on and call in the middle of the night. And so, yeah, you have to just change who your support system is. If it's not the people that are your blood, then you find new people. And we also have an amazing group of friends in Texas, and our kids, have friends down there. And so we've made a whole new world around
a whole new life.
Yeah.
And how is your relationship with your first husband? Do you guys still, do you talk, or how is that? And is he still part of the church with your family?
He is, as far as I know, not the original one that I was excommunicated from. He's not a part of that one, but I think, as according to the kids, they still go to a version of the church. I don't really know where he's at with that. No, we do not have any kind of relationship presently. We speak through our family wizard. Do you have our family wizard?
Yes. Our family wizard. I love our family wizard.
I mean, I love it and I hate it, because it's like you get the alert and you're like, oh, what's happening now?
You're like, oh no, oh shit. So okay.
It's helped. It's helped, I think. And we obviously were very polite with the kids, and they don't feel, I'm very careful that they don't feel any strain in that relationship. But of course, they're getting older and they pick up on stuff here and there. But my husband, Colin, and I were very, positive about my ex, as positive as we can be, without them thinking we're faking it or whatever. But no, we are not friends. I'll say that.
No, exactly. Did he get remarried?
No, he is not.
He's just himself.
He's dated a few people, and I believe he has someone. Again, I have really very little information on, only what I hear from the kids, and we mostly just never talk about anything like that. So, yeah.
Right. No, I get that.
Yeah.
And would you say that you're happier now, even with all of everything?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. My friends say to me that they feel like after I left the church, left my ex, was remarried, they feel like they got me back. That's what they say to me. They felt like they have the old me back, because I think everyone could tell that for so many years I was pretending, and I was just kind of going through the motions of this sort of Christian housewife persona, living in Oakville in the beautiful home, and it was really looked very perfect from the outside. But it wasn't. No, I was actually quite lonely and quite sad a lot of times, and my ex traveled a lot, and I was home with these 3 little kids under 3, and it was just, those were very hard years. And to have a partner now who is my best friend, who I'm madly in love with, and we have this crazy blended family, but it's amazing. It's amazing. And we're free to make our own decisions. We're free to live our lives without anybody sort of telling us how to live. And
yes, that must be amazing feeling now compared to before.
Yes, it is. It really is.
And are you not in like a band now where you're amazing? And do you do is it heavy metal? What is it? What do you tell me everything?
It's symphonic metal. And because I came out of opera, Colin, he'd played in different metal bands before, and I didn't know anything about metal really, but he kind of turned me on to it. And he was like, if you can sing over an orchestra, you can sing in a metal band. And so he played me different stuff. I didn't know. I kind of knew Evanescence and, some of these things here and there. But there's a whole community, like a whole world in metal, and it's amazing. And again, talking about people who are free to live their own lives and do their own thing. Like, this community is full of really deep thinking, kind, even though the music sounds scary or they look scary, they're the sweetest, most loved. Well, that's kind of also been our new family, is the metal community. So yeah, we started making music, before we left our other spouses, and then we now tour, and we have a few albums out, and it's great. It's really awesome. Yeah, the band's called Tulip. So yeah,
Tulip. I love it. Oh my God, I love it so much. I need to research it after I get off the phone. But
yes.
That's so amazing. And now do you have a baby now? A new baby with Colin?
She's not new. She's almost 3. But yes, we have my twins who are 10 and my daughter who's almost 8. with my ex, who I'm here to pick up today, and my stepdaughter, who is also 8. So it's kind of like 2 sets of twins. It's the best. It's the best. And then their little link, they're each half sibling, is Zelda, who is almost 3. So that, yeah, it was like really important, I think, for our love story and just for the kids too, to make a baby together and kind of combine the family that way. And she's, yeah, hilarious. Yeah.
That is so cute. And
Yeah.
and Texas, you like living in Texas?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking out at Toronto. I can barely see it. I don't know what's happening with the smog here, but
It's really bad. Yeah.
yeah, it's Toronto really changed. And we when we first got divorced, we tried to live here for, the first couple of years. And we had the home in Texas, but we would go back and forth. And then, cost of living's crazy. I don't have to tell you, you're in this market. And it also just became like, it was a lot of pressure. I would have to, we still had the intense things that were happening with my family, and they
yes.
I didn't know who was going to pop out of a bush, and I did have certain, like, I had someone from the church yell at me in a Shoppers once. It just became,
oh my God.
yeah, it just became, we needed to start fresh. And then the pandemic happened and we couldn't go back and forth anymore. And so we had to choose and make a choice. And so we decided, okay, we're going to stay. And I wanted, obviously, the kids to be with me. But that hasn't happened yet. And we're fighting to make that happen. But that's kind of all I can say on that topic right now. But we're hopefully going to get there as they get older, and we're hopefully going to be able to sort it out. So
yeah, that's so in terms of like the divorce itself,
yeah,
was that really difficult, like with the lawyers and everything, or was it kind of an easy, clean break?
No, it was very difficult. And that's advice I would give to especially women that are about to go through this. I was so naive. I had no idea. I thought it was going to be quick and easy and we signed some stuff. Nope. It was, it was, I still can't believe how confusing the system is, how it can be weaponized against you. I mean, every little thing.
It's beyond. It's like, unless you've lived it, you don't know how backwards it all is, and how you literally, like, I believe there should be a guidebook or something where someone can say, like, this is what you have to do, because getting into it, nothing, zero. You're also broken because, like,
and
whatever it is.
Yes.
And so, and there's just no support, I found at all.
It would be that. I mean, that's a really smart idea. I mean, it's great that you're doing this. I would say, yeah. I mean, the first lawyer that I had, I've had a couple. The first lawyer that I had really, I don't think quite understood who she was dealing with the other side. And so we gave a lot of things up in the name of trying to just move forward in peace. And if people are going to take advantage of you, they're going to take advantage of you. And that certainly happened with me. And then eventually I sort of got my footing and switched teams. And that's been wonderful. But you have to find the right lawyer for you. And how do you know which one's right? So now I feel like I know every lawyer in Toronto just because I've many of our friends. So it's kind of, I'm not sure if this has happened with you. Those of us that got married kind of young are either getting divorced now in our almost 40s, or people are getting married for the first time now in their late 30s, early 40s. So it's like, there's kind of been a wave now of many of our friends that are going through the divorce. So I feel like now everyone's coming to me because we were the first ones to do it, but people come to Colin and I with asking these questions. And it's like, okay, have you done this? Have you done this? And I remember being in that fog of like, well, maybe we can do mediation first. It's like,
I remember thinking that.
Right. Like
The worst
maybe we
idea
can,
ever.
yeah, maybe we can do this the easy, gentle way. Nope. Find somebody that's going to represent you and fight for
Find
you.
a bulldog. Yep.
Yep.
Or yep. It's just, I went through exactly the same thing. I had the first lawyer was like, we'll just get along and you can just send money and it's going to be fine. And nothing happened for 2 years, literally. And then when I had to get
it goes so slowly. Like everything is so slow. Even just trying to get in front of the judge is impossible.
I thought when I first knew that I was getting divorced, I was like, well, this should be wrapped up in like 4 months.
Oh, I know.
And yeah, and I remember one lawyer being like, no, it's going to take at least 6 months. I was like, I can't take that. I can't deal with that. And then 2.5 years later, that's how long it took to even get the separation agreement in place.
Yeah.
And the amount of fighting and stress over everything. And it's weird because we won't talk too much about it, but your ex sometimes turns into a person that you don't recognize in all of this, right?
There's that quote, you never know who you're married to until you divorce them. You never fully know.
Such a good quote.
Yeah.
It's a really, really
good
quote.
Who you're married to until you divorce them, right?
Yeah, totally. But okay, so last question is, you are amazing and I can't wait to listen to your music. And but what would your biggest piece of advice be for people going through this?
That would, I mean, for sure it would be have a plan. A very close friend of mine just called me a couple weeks ago and she's like, I think I'm getting ready to leave. And I was like, don't say anything. Don't do anything. Because I was so open about like, I'm leaving, I'm doing this, I'm telling everybody, keep your cards close to the vest. Make a plan privately go get a lawyer right away, or just meet
Absolutely.
I love my lawyers now, but make sure you interview a bunch and see who you feel comfortable and ask around. Like I'm sending my friend to the people that I have now because I trust them. I think they're incredible. And then you can ask people, have you dealt with this person? Have you dealt with this person? And maybe you want to send them to your ex's lawyer because they're so good. I don't know, but you send people, ask questions, ask around the people that have gone through it and make a plan. Don't do anything too fast just because you're upset and the whole thing. Like, get your ducks in a row. That would be, maybe even consult a realtor. Like, do these things.
Consult a realtor.
Yes. Like,
no, but it's true. Yeah, it's so true. It's like you want to find out everything before you go.
Right. Because as soon as her husband figures out what's happening, he's going to do the same thing. And so it's it's not very friendly to do this.
No, I know, but it's a reality.
It's the reality because she's afraid that, it's going to get ugly. And if you have a sense if it's going to get ugly or not, I think. And if she already thinks that that's what's going to happen, that's what's going to happen. So you have to prepare for the worst. And I think, just having a plan, and also having patience and just making sure that you have a really good, support system of people. I didn't have that right away, but I did have my girlfriends and they have stepped up for me in unimaginable ways. And, even just talking to you today has been awesome. So
I love it.
Yeah.
You remind me so much of your friend.
I know.
Like, some of your mannerisms, do you guys get that often?
Yeah, people she is like a sister to me, but people also think that we're twins. Like, when we're out in the world, people are like, well, you're definitely sisters, but are you also twins?
That is so cute.
Yeah.
Well, I love you. I love you both.
Oh yeah. She's everything to me. Yeah.
That is so amazing. Well, Ashley, I love talking to you, and I hope that maybe if you're in Toronto, we can like grab a drink or something together, because I'd love to meet you in person.
I feel like it's impossible that we haven't met in all these years. I mean, I've been friends with Brooke for 25 years, so it's like
I know we're going to.
Yeah,
we're going to.
Probably
100%.
Yeah, thing.
Yes, And I'm going to like literally get off of here and start looking up your band because I think that is amazing and awesome. And I thank you so much for joining me because I think the hope and just knowing that you went through the absolute worst, like lost your family, the church, all this stuff, but you're still on the other side and you're thriving and you're happy and you have a new little girl. Like that's all so exciting and great.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's that whole, it gets better. That's it. And you just have to keep going and making good decisions for yourself and trust your intuition. That's another thing. Like I was, for so long, I ignored that like voice inside of me that was saying like, something's wrong here. But I just pressed it or pushed it down or, drank wine or whatever. And instead now it's like, I'm really in tuned with that voice and I let it guide me and I can make decisions for myself. And my happiness is important, especially as a mom. Like you can't be a good parent if you're an unhappy parent. So
no, 100%. Like you have to be your best you, and your kids are going to learn what it's like to have like a strong, authentic mom that lives her truth.
100%. And they already are noticing that for sure. They are like as they're getting older too. They can see that Colin and I have a very loving, happy, healthy marriage, and they want to model that too. And I'm so happy to be able to share that with them and show them that. So
huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Well, I hope you have the best summer with the kids.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck at the airport.
Yeah, it should be. We have all the nexus and all the things, so it should hopefully be okay today. But yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me. You are the best, and I wish you lived in Toronto so I could see you and be friends.
Yeah,
but we'll meet one day.
For sure. And you're not, anytime you come to Texas, give me a call.
I'll be a New Tulip fan, a follower.
Yay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Okay.